heroes are normally just flying across the sky without a care in the world. But if you've got a moment, there are some criminals close by, so, a little help?
You'd think that Tony Stark would be happy that he helped save the world from the Chitauri, but something about him's different now. He spends most of his time building new Iron Man suits at his mansion and has somehow managed to get himself in trouble with this mysterious menace known as the Mandarin. I'd like to think he knows what he's doing, but, well, he's Tony.
You see that lovely Malibu penthouse? Well, that's where I live with Tony Stark. Normally, it has a beautiful vista of the Pacific, but today it has a fleet of gunships hired by the Mandarin to redecorate our lounge. He's the same villain that's been creating all kinds of chaos around town, even putting our friend Happy in the hospital. Guess he's not so happy now. Definitely not Tony's best decision giving our home address to a bunch of lava-blooded villains. On a positive note, at least his new Iron Man suit fits me snugly.
Get her, I'm gonna find a way around.
Tony! You're okay, right? We need to get you out of here right now. See, this is why I don't like it when you bring your work home with you. Gifts, Tony. How is that going to help us? Oh, it's a robot. I probably should have guessed. Can you control it from your side?
You don't like it? Beep, bong, beep, beep. Huh.
Hold on. I'm gonna get you out of here. That was weird, but surprisingly comfortable. Watch out for those helicopters, Tony!
Well, hey, did you see your Christmas present? Nailed it, right?
Violent? Huh?
Here's a little holiday greeting I've been wanting to send to the Mandarin.
Let's just hope it works. More of these guys? Hope you've still got some tricks up that iron sleeve of yours, Tony.
For a second, we thought it was over, but a final missile slipped past. I watched in horror as the entire condo sunk into the abyss. Thankfully, Jarvis had managed to help Tony escape a watery end, but the suit had shorted out, leaving him stranded in Tennessee. Further adding to his troubles, the hot-headed villains happened to be visiting the area, and Tony's only ally was Harley, a local boy with a pretty mean potato gun. The pair were left with no choice but to take on the Flameheads together. Tony really should start keeping the rest of the Avengers on speed dial.
Whoa, that was so cool! I mean, you know, in a bad way. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. There are transformers around here that'll shut the power off. I accidentally did that. Twice.
How about that? There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Alright, that's one of them taken care of. Now to find the other one. Pow! Fastest potato gunslinger in the West.
Don't worry about it, I'll fix it.
No offense, but I think you might be a little too heavy for this. Let me try. Hey, look! There's a transformer up here. Let's smash it and go.
Just catch my breath for a second. There's no version of this where you come out on top.
You hungry? Tonight we're having potatoes. Oh man, she looks angry. Like, really angry. How is she even glowing like that?
Hot Wings, you want to party? Come on, you and me, let's go.
You got a plan for this, right? It kind of feels like we're a little outmatched right now.
You'll see.
After some creative use of a microwave, Tony defeated the remaining extremis-fueled agents and headed off to take down the Mandarin. Then, things got complicated very quickly. The Mandarin turned out to be a washed-up British actor called Trevor, and the real villain was actually someone familiar. Not an ex-neighbor, but a nerd-turned-superhuman called Aldrich Killian. I've got to admit, he was looking much more suave these days. Killian only went and took me hostage, exposing me to extremis. He also kidnapped the president, too, and planned to serve him up like a roast turkey. Tony turned up to save the day, this time with Iron Patriot by his side, and his entire back catalog of Iron Man suits. The 10-year-old with the potato gun would have come too, but he had to tidy his room.
Okay. What do we got here? version of this where you come out on top.
Wanted the Mandarin, Tony? Well, here I am. I am the Mandarin. You can't win. You know that, don't you? Delaying the inevitable, Tony. Perhaps this will teach you to be nicer to people you randomly meet at parties.
I'm not afraid of you. I know you're a coward.
might take a minute.
You see? That suit was just like you! A failure!
Jarvis, do me a favor and blow Mark 42.
No!
Even after being cooked in an Iron Man suit, Killian was still up for another round. Luckily for Tony, I was in no mood for any more nonsense. Combining my terrifically toasty powers and an Iron Man repulsor, I flame-grilled the big geek. With that maniac out of the way, Tony celebrated by blowing up all his suits, promising to spend the holidays with me rather than with a screwdriver and an arc reactor. With the president now safe and sound, Tony promised to use his super genius to find a cure for the extremis enhancements, straight after we'd had a festive dinner. Oh, and after he'd had his shrapnel removed. Oh, and don't forget, he is Iron Man.
While Thor was helping us track down Loki, we asked him about any potential threats to Midgard, Earth. One of his stories was about an ancient race called the Dark Elves, led by Malekith, who attempted to use something called the Ether to bring darkness to the Nine Realms. It sounded kind of serious, but Thor assured us it was all settled thousands of years ago. Why do I still have a bad feeling about this?
Long before the birth of light, there was darkness, and from that darkness came Malekith, a dark elf who millennia ago sought to return our universe back into one of eternal night, using the power of the ether, an ancient force of infinite destruction. My father vanquished Malekith in a mighty war. It was a tale he recounted so often that he truly lived up to the name King Bor. At the climax of the battle, the ether was destroyed, or so we believed until Jane Foster, Thor's girlfriend from the wrong side of the Bifrost, somehow managed to stumble upon it, waking an ancient evil from his slumber, with only one layabout to defend her, and my favorite son in prison. Asgard was in more peril than it had ever faced.
Turn to yourselves, no further harm will come to you. You have my word. Very well, you do not have my word.
It's as if they resent being in prison.
There's no pleasing some creatures.
You might want to take the stairs to the left.
How can a man be so casual when faced with this chaos?
He always was one for mischief. Be thankful, my dear friend, for he is doing nothing but merely knitting.
I accept your surrender.
Splendid work, my friend. Never thought I'd have to break myself out of the dungeon.
Oh, one swing of my trusty axe would have us out of here in no time.
There is another one of those big chaps like in Vanaheim, and I suggest you start with him this time, Thor.
Thor! I've got this completely under control.
Is that why everything's on fire?
You did not truly think to do this without me. For glory! For the All-Father! I'm not titled as a warrior maiden, for no. This is no minor skirmish. Asgard is in danger. Come, we must take the fight to these intruders and end this.
We must follow them. Our king needs us. I'm not tight.
Strange fellows, these. I'm impressed by their resilience to my charming smile.
I think I'm going to be sick.
I'm not surprised. After you managed to consume 4 wild boars, 6 pheasants, a side of beef, and 2 caskets of broth.
One must not fight on an empty stomach, man. Now, for Asgard!
After you, Volstagg the Valiant.
Just be quiet and push!
Too late. My lump of a son Thor added Malekith's escape to his considerable list of heroic failures. His only option was to seek the help of his brilliant brother, cruelly locked away and forgotten in Asgard's dungeons. Defying my orders, they fled Asgard through secret ways long forgotten. And together as brothers, they stood to face our greatest foe.
All right, you ready?
I am.
Are you mad?
Possibly. You still don't trust me, brother?
Would you?
No, I wouldn't.
I wish I could trust you.
trust my rage.
Loki, now!
You want me to put the hammer down?
If it were easy, everyone would do it. Whatever you're doing, brother, I suggest you do it faster.
Shut up, Loki.
Carefully, I am mighty.
Alas, my favorite son. A cold man, yes, but a giant in his way. Gave his very life for Goldilocks, the hammer lover. By more luck than design, my lesser son and his girlfriend managed to return to Earth and regroup with the rabble they call friends. They hatched a plan that held the very future of the universe in its balance.
Thor, are you there? You've been off the grid a while now. Our sensors are detecting abnormal energy around your location. Are you triggering that?
The convergence will be in full effect in 7 minutes.
That just means we have to keep Malekith busy for 8. victory for science! Gravimetric spikes. We need to put them together.
You sure this is going to work? These devices were made to detect anomalies, not cause them.
Okay, I'm trying the phase meter now. You might want to hold on to something.
Huh? Huh?
You know, with all that power, I thought you'd hit harder. Your universe was never meant to be. Accept your surrender. You want me to put the hammer down? You needn't have come so far, Asgardian. Death would have come to you soon enough. Not by your hand.
My bad.
We're running out of time.
Convergence is at its peak.
Huh?
Darkness returns, Asgard. Have you come to witness the end of your universe?
We're out of time. We can't get close enough to Malekith.
I can. Accept your surrender.
I've come to accept your surrender.
You think you can stop this? The ether cannot be destroyed.
But you can.
So despite everything, the big lug won the day with the considerable sacrifice of his brilliant brother. What a shameful waste. If only Loki had lived to rule Asgard, what a king he would have made. Glorious and
burdened with glorious purpose.
There appears to be some trouble close by. I'd be there to help out, but I'm pretty busy recording videos of myself lip-syncing popular songs for research.